Hello YouTube, this is Let's Talk Horror and welcome back to another video. Okay guys, so today I had to jump on here as we have some potentially major news regarding the Peacock Friday the 13th series Crystal Lake, and it appears things are finally moving in a positive direction. I can finally jump on here and talk about a real legitimate casting update. We got the news the other day that Linda Cardellini is in talks and potentially deep talks to land the role of Pamela Voorhees in the Crystal Lake television series. As we know, Brian Fuller got fired, Brad Caleb Kane got hired, but Pamela Voorhees is still going to play a prominent role in this series. And Linda Cardellini looks like she's going to be the next Pamela Voorhees. So I'm going to go over to the Friday the 13th franchise website article discussing this, and then I will come back and give you my thoughts. Okay, so the Friday the 13th franchise website article has this to say, and the title of the article is Linda Cardellini in talks to play Pamela Voorhees in Crystal Lake series. And here's what the article says. Quote, late last night, The Insider reported that veteran actress Linda Cardellini is in talks to play the villainous Pamela Voorhees in A24's Friday the 13th series Crystal Lake. The report cautions that it is currently just discussions and Linda has not signed on just yet, but this is a good sign that the show is moving forward. Also in the report from last night, Jeff Snyder had this to say. Cardellini will soon begin filming HBO's dark comedy series DTF St. Louis with Jason Bateman and David Harbour, and I imagine that she'll segue to Crystal Lake after that, and most likely this summer. This lines up with what I have heard, which is that the show is looking to start filming this summer. Linda is known for her starring television roles in the teen drama Freaks and Geeks, the medical drama ER, and as well as her guest role as Sylvia Rosen in AMC's Mad Men. Her starring role in the Netflix dark comedy series Dead to Me earned her a nomination for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Leading Actress. She is also known for playing Velma Dinkley in the Scooby-Doo film franchise, as well as Laura Barton in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films Avengers Age of Ultron and Avengers Endgame and miniseries Hawkeye, as well as Lila in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And that is all the Friday the 13th franchise website has to say about it. Let me give you my thoughts. I think this is good. I know Linda Cardellini from the Scooby-Doo movies, from the theatrical released Scooby-Doo movies of the early 2000s. Immediately when I saw the first article with her picture on it, I immediately recognized her, and then I looked at her filmography, and I knew, like, oh, that's where I recognize her from. Because those movies had a huge, huge impact on my childhood. I watched those a ton. So I always associate her with Velma, which is maybe why I do have a little bit of a hard time seeing her take on a role like this, take on like this sinister, villainous role of Pamela Voorhees, just because I personally have her associated with Velma. But yeah, still, this seems great. She's been in a lot of good stuff. She obviously got a great cult following with Freaks and Geeks, which I got to check out. She's been in Mad Men. You know, she's an Emmy nominated and I believe Emmy winning actress because of Dead to Me. So I'm going to have to start checking out maybe a little bit more of her stuff. I do have a little bit trouble seeing her as Pamela, but doesn't mean she can't pull it off. Doesn't mean she can't be a good or great Pamela Voorhees. I can kind of see it even, you know, it's not like I totally can see it, you know, but just because I have her identified as Velma so much, it's a little bit difficult. More on that alone. There's other stuff that I take away from this that is interesting. First of all, as we all know with where the series was when Brian Fuller was signed on, his plan was to pretty much, he had 4 seasons planned out. And each of the seasons was going to be a A24 style or Fuller style reimagining of that movie. So season 1 of Crystal Lake under him was probably going to be an A24 style reimagining or reinvention of the original Friday the 13th. And then part 2 of the show was going to be a reimagining of part 2 from the movie franchise and so on. And we were all curious, well, is Brad Caleb King going to use any of Fuller's material? And it really seems like this is the case because Linda Cardellini is 49 years old. If they were just going to go up with a straight up prequel with Pamela Voorhees and have her try to carry the show and that character carry the show for multiple seasons, Linda Cardellini is not really someone you would cast as a younger Pamela Voorhees. And that's not an insult to her or anything. She's still obviously a beautiful woman, but she's 49. You know, Betsy Palmer, I looked it up earlier today, was 52 when they shot the original Friday the 13th. So Linda Cardellini is not that much younger than Betsy Palmer when she shot the original Friday the 13th. You know, in Fuller's version of the show, they were looking at Claire Danes and Charlize Theron as Pamela Voorhees, and we know they only wanted them for one season because in his version of the show and Fuller's version of the show, the Pamela Voorhees role was only supposed to be prominent for one season. Well, Claire Danes is 45 years old. So Linda Cardellini is older than someone Fuller was looking at for the role. And then Charlize Theron is the same age as Linda Cardellini. So again, Linda Cardellini, I don't think this is a straight up prequel, guys. I honestly think maybe Brad Caleb Kane had a similar idea in mind where each season is going to be a Fuller or is going to be a Brad Caleb Kane style reinvention of one of the movies. Maybe he had that in mind. Maybe they are using a lot of what Fuller had written because it doesn't really seem like Cardellini would be the best choice for that, you know, or the best choice as a younger Pamela Voorhees because she is nearly 50. And by the way, Pamela Voorhees, the character, when she went on the massacre at Camp Crystal Lake in Friday the 13th, 1980, you want to know how old she was? 49, you know, because technically the massacre at Camp Crystal Lake in the original film takes place in 1979. And we know from the headstone in Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter, Pamela Voorhees was born in 1930. So Pamela Voorhees in that original movie was 49. So again, it doesn't really seem like, this does not seem like the casting you would do for a younger Pamela Voorhees or a prequel Pamela Voorhees that's going to carry the show for multiple seasons. I am really starting to wonder if they're going with the same type of idea that Brian Fuller had, where we're just going to do a A24 reinvention of each of the movies season for season. Season 1 will be the original movie. Season 2 will be part 2. Season 3 will be part 3. Season 4 will be part 4, and so on. And you know what? If it's well done, I think that could work, man. I think that'd be really cool. I think that'd be really fascinating to watch. But overall, yeah, I like this. You know, Linda Cardellini is a very talented actress. Obviously, I love her as Velma. As I said in a community post before this video, this gives me a good excuse to finally check out Freaks and Geeks. It's only one season anyway. Probably gonna check out Dead Like Me, especially because, or Dead to Me, excuse me, especially because she was nominated for an Emmy for that. But yeah, this is certainly not an A-list celebrity. I don't think you'd go that far, but this is a very talented actress who's had an accomplished career. She's an Emmy-winning actress, and it really seems like she's never stepped into a role like this. So I am just so excited to see what she can do in a role like this because it's something new for her, it seems. So that's cool. And yeah, it's finally good to be getting on here and talking about a real update with the show, and hopefully we get more soon. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys later. Okay, take care.